Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Adrienne and today we're starting my Summerween reading vlog. I just filmed a little video deciding what my TBR is going to be for the week. I will link that down below if you want to watch that first. I pulled a bunch of books off my shelves and then matched to see what I could read based off of the prompts. So I'll just quickly tell you here what my TBR is going to be and what the prompts are that I'm matching them to. So first off, we have read a book in the dark. So I figured I'd pick something that is also available as an ebook so I can read it on my Kindle. So I have Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke and Other Misfortunes by Eric LaRocca. I'm terrified that this is the book that ended up for the read in the dark because I'm going to be more scared and more susceptible to nightmares if I'm reading in the dark before going to sleep. So good luck to me. Next we have read a graphic novel or novella. I have You Should Have Left by Daniel Kelman. This is a horror science fiction little novella. And I have read a book set in fall, which was so hard to find a book set in fall from my options that I pulled, but I have Temper by Lane Fargo. And then for the prompt to read a thriller, I have Yellowface by R.F. Kwong. And finally, read a book with orange or black on the cover. I chose black for A Sliver in the Darkness by C.J. Tudor, which is a collection of short stories. So we've got a lot of horror going on, slash thrillers, slash combination of both. We got some scary things going on, but that's fun because we're celebrating Halloween-y type things during summer. So the readathon actually starts tomorrow. So I will see you tomorrow when I get to start reading. I've already completed my novella, You Should Have Left by Daniel Kelman. This book, all I knew about it going in was that what the cover says, mind-bending, part horror, part science fiction. This book is translated from German by Ross Benjamin. But basically this man goes to a vacation house with his wife and 4-year-old daughter. And at the beginning, we're reading his notebook, the whole book. But at the beginning, we're getting some glimpses into their marriage. They're not the happiest right now, but he is a screenwriter and we're getting glimpses of the new screenplay that he's writing and glimpses into his life. And then also what's going on while he's at this house on vacation. But it's all mixed in together, and at first it's very hard to read, and it actually continues that way, but my brain kind of adjusted to the way it was written, and it turned out to be pretty interesting. So the house is, something's wrong there, we'll say. One of the first things he notices is he looks at his reflection in like the front window glass and he doesn't see himself there. Like he's sitting at a table and he sees the table and the chair that he's sitting in, but he's not in it, but he only sees it for like a second and he blinks and it's gone. And then other weird things happen and he should have left. He really should have, but it was good. It was short. It honestly wasn't that fast because of the reading trouble that I had, but it was fun. I'm not sure what I'm rating it, but it was a good time. And then I've also found the audiobook for Temper by Lane Fargo. So I'm going to be starting that just as my audiobook for the week. So now I need to choose my next physical read. I have these 3 to choose from. I think I'm actually going to bring... The thing is, I have 2 short story collections left. But I also have to read something in the dark. So I'm going over to Boyfriend's. We're gonna go to dinner and stuff. But I'm gonna bring this to read once it's dark nighttime, and this to read for the rest of the time. But then I'll also have my audiobook going. So I'll try not to overlap talking about all the books at once. But I just need to have options to be reading at all times, because yesterday I did the math. In order to complete this readathon in a timely manner on the schedule, I have 1,283 pages to read in 7 days, which is 183 pages a day, which is way more than I normally read, which is okay, right? Because it's a readathon. The point is to read more than usual. But I'll also look at my cute notebook. I found this at Half Price Books, and it has like floral edges. So cute. But that's a lot of reading. It is the weekend now, thank goodness. So I have to do the bulk of my reading on the weekend because I'm not a heavy reader, especially during the work week. So this is what I'm bringing. Now you know my plans. Good luck to me, and also good luck to you if you're participating. I stayed up very late reading the first story, which is the title Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke by Eric LaRocca. And I remember when everyone was reading this on BookTube and they said it was dark and weird and gross. Yeah, that is an accurate description. It's so strange. And also the dedication at the beginning creeped me out, which is real by the author. For Allie, my love, things have gotten better since we first met. You make me feel like less of a monster. Because reading this story, I was like, the author is a disturbed, dark being. But it was fun. I really want to pick up the next one, but I can't. I have to wait until it's dark again. So today, I've got to run errands and such, and I'm going to start Yellowface. We're 3 days into this readathon now. Today has just been stormy and I just wanted to stay home and read, so I've got some good progress. I also made some soup, but to update you on the reading, I'm wearing my favorite yellow shirt while I read Yellowface. That was unplanned, but I'm on page 174. I started this today. So Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. This is actually my first book by her. And it is a contemporary thriller. Our main character, June, watches her friend Athena die. So Athena, the successful author, has written a novel, a first draft of a novel that nobody knows about yet. And June's over at her apartment. Athena tells her about it, and then Athena dies. So June takes the novel and ends up publishing it herself. The novel that she publishes is about the Chinese labor workers during World War I, and there is a lot of discussion in the public about, is that June's story to tell, and just a lot of controversy that comes with it. Also a lot of discussion about the publishing industry in general, how authors are treated, how all the cogs in the machine work, who's successful, who's not, is it luck, is the next bestseller decided before anyone reads the novel. But our main character, June, is white, and she publishes the book under a racially ambiguous name, which leads people to believe that she's Chinese, but she's not, hence Yellowface. It's so much fun. I heard that it's really wild. It doesn't feel that wild. I mean, I read a lot of wild thrillers, but it's fun. I feel like fun while also discussing a lot of serious topics, and this book has a lot to say, and there's so many things that are touched on, and so many things that you can tell maybe R.F. Kuang has dealt with herself as an author, or just things pulled from the real writing world and the mess that can be Twitter when all these dramas and cancelings happen. So it's really fun. I think I'm halfway through, maybe. Yeah, about halfway through. So I'm gonna keep reading this. And then another update. So I've been listening to the audiobook for Temper by Lane Fargo. I don't love it. It's not drawing me in the way that You'll Never Learn, the more recent book by this author, did. This one follows an actress named Kira who wants to land a job at this theater company in Chicago. Well, she does land the job, starring in the lead role with her co-star Malcolm, who owns the theater company, and she's always admired. And he's clearly a creep weirdo, but she's just infatuated and thinks he's so cool, so dreamy, and he's not. And I don't know where this is going, but I'm sure he's like a dark, not good person. But Kira's not very likable at all. And we're also following the perspective of Joni, Malcolm's business partner slash roommate slash complicated relationship. And then Kira's in a complicated relationship with her roommate, and her roommate's in a complicated relationship with other people. It's just...
I walked right out the front door, east on Belmont to Clark Street. Caught the 22 bus up to Andersonville.
Hello, I'm not enjoying Temper. It's just not my kind of book. So I'm trying to power through it today. I'm listening to the audiobook. I have some errands to run. I'll bring you on one. I have to go to Barnes & Noble to pick up something for my sister's birthday. And then I have to go to my sister's birthday. This book is so pretentious feeling, I think. I feel like pretentious is kind of an insult, but a little bit of compliment. So I don't even like using that word. But it gives me the same feeling as Sweet Bitter did, a little bit of The Secret History. I'm not enjoying the story, even though I can tell like the writing's good. It's probably all great, fantastic literary masterpiece, but it's just so not for me and not what I like to read. The characters are, I don't know, weird? Not weird. They're probably like unlikable, but masterfully done. But they're just not for me, and I don't want to read them anymore, so I'm gonna power through. It's not like the worst thing in the world, it's just not what I'd prefer to be reading, and it doesn't feel like a thriller, and it doesn't feel like a psychological thriller like people are saying. We just have a guy who is manipulative, and he likes to bring out emotion from people because he wants them to be better actors. But then, I don't know, the way that other people kind of feel like his victim, but they're also using him, it's just not for me.
Her head pillowed on her balled up black hoodie, an open textbook slanted against her stomach. Her hair is loose, spilling over her shoulders. She always keeps it tied back in a ponytail or up in a messy top knot, so I didn't realize.
I finished Temper, and I'm so confused because I did not enjoy most of the book, but then the ending was so good and satisfying, and it seemed inevitable, but it still was a surprise. I don't know. So it had some good and bad things. I did not like the feeling it gave me, the tone, the characters, so many things. But there was a reveal that I loved. There were some things that we found out that were intriguing. Like, there were definitely some plot points that I liked. I just didn't like the characters and how the characters felt about each other, and just the relationships and the relationships and stuff. Not that they were bad or unrealistic, just that I didn't enjoy reading them. So I feel like it's a book that I can appreciate. It's a great book, but I only enjoyed it mildly. And if you would ask my sister, she would say it's because I prefer thrillers where everyone's cheating on each other and killing each other. And that's kind of true. So I mean, it's one of, I respect the book. I think it's good. It's just not my preference, and you know what? We're allowed to have our preferences. So another book completed. Hello, I put on my yellow shirt so I could tell you that I finished Yellow Face by R.F. Kuang today. This is the best book I've read so far this week. Things spiraled pretty crazily, but we're also just discussing publishing and Twitter and canceling people and appropriation, and it was just so good. I loved it. So I've now completed my thriller for Summerween. And yeah, definitely highly recommend this if you're looking for a fast-paced thriller with a little more substance than usual. Hello. It's the last day of the readathon, and I've gotten myself into quite a pickle. I've completed 3 books so far for my TBR, but I have 2 left, and it's 4:30 p.m. I'm currently participating in some reading sprints on Books and Lala's channel, specifically for completing our Summerween TBR. So I have 130 pages left of Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke and Other Misfortunes, and then the entirety of A Sliver of Darkness by C.J. Tudor, which is about 230 pages long. Not ideal to just read a bunch of short stories back to back to back to back, but that's where we are now, so that's what I have to do. I might just turn off the lights and read this because this actually feels easier to accomplish. So if I finish, this is 2 short stories I have left. So if I finish one short story, I mean, when I finish the first short story, I actually have some exciting packages to open. And then once I finish the book, I'll give myself a reward. And then as I make my way through here, I just need some incentives to get through here. So good luck to me. Hello, I finished. Things have gotten worse since we last spoke. The second and third story in here. The stories are so strange, dark, not anything too wild, but just weird. The shock value of the first story left me kind of confused on if I liked it or not, but after some time away from it and then reading the other two stories, I liked it very much, so that's fun. Then I actually started A Sliver of Darkness by CJ Tudor. I'm on page 70, which is 2 stories in, and I'm just not really in the mood for it, honestly. And I've been watching poker, which is very distracting. But I'm on page 70 out of 230, and it is nighttime, but I'm gonna keep reading. But I said I was going to open a little gift for myself, so spoiler for Brandon Sanderson's Secret Project number 3. I've been thoroughly enjoying the Secret Project. I read and loved book 1. I have not read book 2 yet, and now I've heard that a lot of people don't like it. I'm still gonna read it, but I'm excited to see what book 3 looks like. Storytelling is essentially about cheating. Quote by Wit. That is so pretty. It's called Yumi and the Nightmare Painter. I can take the plastic off so that we can see it without the shine. That is stunning. Well, it's just that that text is color beautiful. Oh wow. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to read this. So time to get back to reading. I'll probably read in bed so that I can just fall asleep and hopefully not have nightmares, because these stories are a little creepy. The first one was like a dystopian set on a cruise ship, and then the second one was some kids breaking into this scary decrepit building called the Block, where there's some weird stuff going on inside. So now I'm moving on to story number 3 called Runaway Blues. So I fell asleep reading around midnight, and then I woke up super early because it was storming, kept reading, finally finished A Sliver of Darkness by CJ Tudor. Sorry if you can hear background noise. The pool's outside my window and there's an absolute party in the pool right now. I definitely didn't love this book. I actually had this recurring thought while I was reading, asking myself, do I even like short stories? Which I do, so obviously that's not the best thing to be experiencing while I'm reading it. I'm trying to remember what stories I loved. I really liked Runaway Blues, I liked Gloria, and I liked I'm Not Ted. But overall, nothing really stood out that much. I will continue to read CJ Tudor if she does mystery horror like she's been doing. So glad to be done with that. And that means Summerween is over. I had so much fun during Summerween, and I'm very shocked and thrilled about the amount of books that I read this week, because the World Series of Poker main event was on and Wimbledon, and it was very hard to watch those and read and have a full-time job, but I managed. I definitely missed a lot of the sports, but I think I balanced everything pretty well. Here are all of the books that I read. If it was driving you crazy that I had the sticker on here the whole time, it's gone now. But I didn't take this sticker off yet. So Temper conflicting feelings. It was a mix of good and bad. Things have gotten worse since we last spoke and other misfortunes. I'm very intrigued by this author and will definitely read more. Yellowface, the best book of the vlog. You Should Have Left was pretty good, and this author has a few novellas out that I think I want to pick up. And then A Sliver of Darkness. Good, not great. So I only read one 5-star read, but that's plenty for me. I enjoyed myself, and I'm so glad I got to vlog the experience and share it with you. Hello, Padfoot. And I'm actually going on family vacation next week, and then we'll most likely be traveling the 4 weeks after that for work, which I've been kind of distracted about this week because it's news to me, and I'm a little distraught that I'm going to be not home besides on the weekends for 5 weeks. But that does mean fun vlogs coming soon with traveling and reading, and you know I love to bookshop when I'm in other cities, so make sure you subscribe if you want to see those fun videos, and I will see you next time. Bye.